Luke. I like school. I'm good at it. I get all A's. So when Mr. Terrap announced our first math project, I was excited. Dollar words was crazy. Definitely not a worksheet problem like all the others I've ever been given. Not even close. We had to assume that the letter A was worth 1 cent, B 2 cents, C 3 cents, and so on, making the letter Z worth 26 cents. The challenge was to find words that equaled $1 when you added up their letter values. Not 99 cents or $1.01, but $1 exactly. Mr. Terrap gave us time to get started. He wanted to make sure we understood the project, and he said he wondered who would be the first one to find a dollar word. I immediately made a data table of all the letters and their corresponding values, a quick reference for me. Then I started putting down any word that came to mind that had some of the they had some of the bigger letters in it. Pretty equals 104. Walnut equals 91. Mister equals 84. Then I thought, hey, wait a minute, what if I just tack on the letter S? Misters equals 103. No good, but very close. I figured this could still be a worthwhile strategy for other words. So there I was, cranking out words, trying to find the first dollar word of the year when what do I hear? Peter and Alexia. This is the 4th year Peter's been in my class, and my 3rd time with Alexia. Peter's funny, but sometimes he gets to be too much. If I'm concentrating on my work and he just wants to joke around, it annoys me. But I like him. He's fun, and he's no stranger to trouble. Alexia, on the other hand, is always involved in some girl war. That stuff I don't get. She loves to wear flashy clothes, dresses, skirts, fancy shoes, and she always has the accessories to go with them. And she says the word like way too much. Alexia isn't a stranger to trouble either. She and Peter are a good match. Peter elbowed Alexia. Then I heard him whisper a word to her. That's not even close to $1, I thought. 53, Alexia said. No good. Try. Were they crazy? They were trying out rude words and giggling the whole time. I just knew they were going to get caught. That's no good either, Peter said. Maybe. What a butthead. As soon as I thought about it, I knew it was a word worth calculating. Sure enough, butthead equaled 81. I tacked on the S. There wasn't just one butthead, but 2 buttheads. Dollar word. I was just about to call out that I had found one when Peter beat me to it. I've got a word, he yelled. Buttocks. He strutted to the board like he was the coolest thing since sliced bread and wrote it for the class. Buttocks, he said, again. Buttocs. Peter went up to demonstrate how the word added up to $1. Mr. Terrap didn't interrupt. Just as I was about to, the new girl did. Buttocks is spelled with a K in it, Peter, Jessica said. Peter looked to Mr. Terrap. Sorry, Peter. She's right. Better try again. And maybe you should choose a different type of word than the ones you've been coming up with. Peter slunk back to his seat. No surprise to me. Mr. Terrap knew what Peter was up to the whole time. I raised my hand. Mr. Terrap, I've got one. I walked up to the board and wrote butthead. That was followed by a chorus of laughs. Butthead, I said, Butthead, adds up to 81 cents, but if we add one more than one, then we get butt heads, and butt heads is a dollar word. Just ask Peter and Alexia. Mr. Terrap snickered. That's enough, Luke. I must say, this isn't a word I was expecting, but nonetheless, it's our first dollar word. Congratulations. Dollar words was the best math project ever. We started it on a Wednesday, dollar word, and worked for 3 weeks. Through trial and error, a few strategies that I learned along the way, and some helpful hints from Mr. Terrap, I broke the record for most dollar words. My final poster was covered with 54 of them. Mr. Terrap looked at my word and smiled. Luke, this is excellent, dollar word. You are the dollar word champ. Alexia. I was like, I have this new guy for a teacher. That's so cool. Mr. Terrap was nice. He let us sit in tables, not rows. I was like, no way. Are you serious? And like the best was, I got to sit with my friend Danielle. There was this new girl in our class, Jessica. She wasn't at our table, but I needed to talk to her. I needed to tell her who she could be friends with. She seemed like she could be pretty cool, even though she carried a book around like a teddy bear. I found her at recess. Outdoor recess is held behind the school. There's a big blacktop area with basketball hoops and hopscotch. There's playground equipment in another spot, and a large field for running around and playing sports, like kickball or football. That's where the gazebo is, too, by the edge of the field. I found Jessica sitting alone on the steps of the gazebo. She was reading a book. I was like, what a loser, but I went up to her. Hey, I said. Hi, she said back. You're Jessica, right? Yes. I blew a bubble with my gum and sat down. I'm Alexia, I said. My friends call me Lexi. I found the compact mirror in my purse and checked my Rockstar purple lip gloss. Then I was like, where did you come from? We moved from California, the new girl said. I used to live in California too. I started playing with the stones that lay under my feet. It's always been easier for me to lie when I don't have to look at the person's eyes. We moved because, my dad got sick and needed the doctors here. I'm sorry, Jessica said. She started playing with the stones now too. Listen, I said. You're new here, so let me help you out a little. If you want, that is. I snapped my gum. Sure, okay. I stopped playing with the stones and scooted closer to her. Want a piece of gum? No thanks, she said. Of course not. Little Miss Perfect. I put my gum back in my purse. That girl, I said, pointing to Danielle across the playground. You can't miss her. She's the fat one. I laughed, but Jessica didn't. That's Danielle. Watch out for her. She's like somebody you don't want to be friends with. But don't you sit with her in class? I thought you were friends. I wasn't expecting this. Usually girls just listen and follow along. I blew a bubble and snapped my gum again. Yeah, she used to be cool, but she's been saying stuff about you, calling you Miss Goody Two-Shoes and a snotty bookworm. Jessica seemed surprised. Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know, she said. Don't worry, I put my arm around her. Stick with me, and I'll help you out. It'll be great. Then recess ended. That's how I got the girl war started. Jeffrey. The kids in my class are all right. I have to deal with Alexia again. Plus, her feather boas and leopard print clothes and her stupid purse. I wonder what kind of makeup she puts on this year. She's so dumb. She thinks she's a Hollywood star or something. Then there's Luke. I don't mind him. He's just smart and serious about school. And Danielle's in my class. She's fat. And then there's Peter, a wise guy, a total smart aleck. I wanted to tell Terup that Peter spent all his time in the bathroom because he was messing around. But Terup figured it out. Even if he was new, he seems smart. I just don't want him trying to figure me out. I'm no good in school. School sucks. Danielle. School wasn't so great. My teacher seemed pretty nice, and he could be funny too, but none of that matters when you don't have friends. Lexi had done this stuff to me before. One day she's my friend, the next she's not. I don't even know why. I'm not mean to her. This year was the worst, though. Things started out fine. Then one day after recess, Lexi started ignoring me, pretending I wasn't there. She would talk about things right in front of me and leave me out of the conversation. She started telling her stupid fat jokes. It was horrible. I cried at home a lot. I'm a little heavy. Well, bigger, I guess. I don't like saying I'm fat. I don't know why I am. I watch what I eat, and I don't have any more than the other girls at lunch. Mom says I'll grow into my body. She's not fat. Neither is my brother Charlie, or Grandma, or Grandpa, or Dad. Grandma says, "You've got to have some meat on your bones, girl." Yeah, Grandma. I think, so someone like Lexi can tell fat jokes about me. I don't say anything, though. Grandma doesn't get it. Only Mom understands, and I feel a little better when she reassures me that I'll thin out as I grow. She also tells me that there must be a reason I'm having to deal with this. It's making you a better person, she says, and someday this experience will help you. That's all great, but I wish I could grow into my body now. We live on a farm. My mom grew up here. My grandma and grandpa live in their own house next to ours. They help us run the farm, so my grandma's around a lot, and she wanted to know what was wrong with me, why I was crying. Any time I mentioned Lexi, she'd get all mad. I'm going to that school and fix that girl, she'd say. No, Grandma. Why are you even still friends with her? She doesn't know how to treat people well, especially a friend. It's not her fault, Grandma. It's this new girl's fault, I said, sticking up for Lexi the way I always do. A new girl that I can't stand. If you keep telling yourself that, it won't get any better, Grandma said. She's a tough woman. The only time I've got friends is when I'm in Lexi's group. Nobody wants to be friends with the fat kid. I don't know what to do. Grandma said a prayer with me at night. We knelt by my bed. Dear God, please give Danielle the strength to stand up to these mean girls in school, or do what you can to teach Alexia a lesson. If you made her fat, that would be all right by me. I elbowed Grandma. Oh, okay, she said. I just ask that you provide Danielle with some comfort and direction during these tough times. We pray for the good weather to hold up and for the farm. Amen. Anna. I didn't say much in school, and I never raised my hand. That would have been an easy way for people to notice me, and I didn't want to be noticed. People can be real mean. That's something Mom warned me about, and my mom knows, trust me. I didn't have any close friends, and I wasn't looking for any. Mom was my best friend. Not getting noticed was never a problem for me before. I was always quiet, and I behaved, so the teachers left me alone. I kept my head down and looked at the floor a lot. But I'm a good observer. Mrs. Williams, our principal, winks whenever there's some big surprise coming. It's something I noticed a few years ago. If you keep quiet, you have time to look and listen and take things in. At the beginning of the year, the first thing you pay attention to is the classroom. We had a nice room. A big one. There was a whole wall of windows opposite the door. Mr. Terrap's desk was in the corner by those windows. The students' desks were arranged in 5 tables of 4. So right away, I knew we had a teacher who was into teamwork and who probably didn't mind a little talking. Otherwise, we would have been in old-fashioned rows. The front of the room had the blackboard and the back wall had a whiteboard. The last side of the room had all of our cabinets and a sink, plus a drinking fountain. Most of the room was carpeted, except for the side by the sink and fountain. Our door was next to the fountain. The other thing, the bigger thing you pay attention to in the beginning, is your teacher, especially if he is a new one like Mr. Terrap. Right away, I could tell that he was a reader, because there were books everywhere in our room. Mom liked that when I told her. Mom's a library assistant in another school. It's a good job. She has the same schedule I do, and it allows her to take some classes at night. She's studying art, something she missed out on when she was younger. She's really good at drawing and painting. Mr. Terrap was young and athletic looking. He didn't have any pictures around his desk, and he didn't wear a wedding ring. Miss Newberry from across the hall didn't have a wedding ring either. Neither did Mom. Mr. Terrap turned out to be different. He noticed me on the first day. It didn't matter that I wasn't raising my hand because he would say, Anna, get ready. I'm calling on you next. Or if we were talking about something and there wasn't just one opinion, he would say, Anna, what do you think? He was not going to let me hide all year. This made me nervous, but it turned out to be a good thing in the end.